Good evening, horse players. It's June 1st, 2024, and I'm coming at you today with a whirlwind of a story. Full transparency, when I woke up today, I had no intentions of making a vlog. I spent some time in nature, visited a museum down here in Florida, but when I got home, I got hooked. I played the horses for a few hours, and I'm still in shock of my roller coaster of a day. So buckle in, keep your hands inside the car at all times, and enjoy the ride. It's almost 5 p.m. Eastern here, and the first play I decide to make is a place bet on the 9, Pin Up Betty at Churchill Downs. I actually saw this horse being touted by Ellis Starr on X. He even had a nice write-up on his website, literally wrote several paragraphs on why he liked this horse. That was enough to catch my eye. I also looked to see where Betty landed on AIHorsePicks.com, and AI Horsepicks had Betty as their number 2 pick for the race, right behind the chalk, the 1. That was enough for me to throw down a $200 place bet on Betty, hoping she could at least get into the exacta and pay all right. If I was the better to win, I probably would have done just about $100, but since I went place, I upped my bet. As you can see, this was a bigger race at Churchill, a 9-furlong stakes race on the turf. The race was actually named the Regret Stakes. Betty breaks okay, she is on the outside. Given the distance of the race, I don't think the start is as important like in a sprint race, for example. She ends up sitting far in the back, but when you look at the form, you see this is definitely her running style. The favorite is up front through the first half mile, but things start to shift near the 6-furlong marker. Our girl Betty actually turns the jets on, goes 5 wide, and burns past the competition. She ends up winning the race, holding off a late inside charge from the 6. This was an impressive win. For me, though, the Regret Stakes brought a little bit of regret. Betty ends up paying $656 to place and $1530 to win. This means I missed out on almost $900 more by not taking win. Still, $456 is a great profit to start. I shouldn't be complaining. Let's collect and move forward. After starting 1 for 1 on the day, I get a little exotic at Woodbine and decide to play a 40-cent superfecta for $144. 6-horse box, large field. I take mostly outside horses, hoping they can stay together and finish up front. Not the greatest theory, as only 2 of my 6 horses hit the board and I lose a quick $144. After that Woodbine loss, I decide to move away from exotics. I look to the 5th at Hawthorne and place a straight $150 win bet on the 3. This horse is trained by Larry Ravelli, broke her maiden at Hawthorne last July, ended up losing a stakes race at Prairie Meadows after going off as the favorite, and then ran 5th at Keeneland in October. Horse is taking money off the layoff, looks to be around 5-2. If I cash this, it'll be about a $400 profit. The other 2 favorites looked beatable, and Larry's one of the best trainers in the Chicagoland area, so let's give it a shot. She breaks well and sits in second in the sloppy surface on a dreary Chicago day. She sits back behind the 2 for most of the race, but takes the lead into the turn. A few chasers start to close, but she holds her own for another furlong, and I think I might be cashing. I definitely need the wire. You can tell she's tiring, but she might have enough left in the tank to finish first. As the race approaches the final few yards, she finally gives way and ends up in 3rd, just half a length behind the winner. At 5.5 furlongs, I think it's an easy win. Another $150 loss. After this, guys, I go cold as ice. In the next 60 minutes, I lose $200 at Churchill, $200 more at Santa Anita, $200 at Monmouth, $200 at Canterbury, and $150 at Golden Gate. I was trying to stay disciplined. It was mostly win bets. I just could not connect. I switched back to exotics, but the bleeding went on. 104 at Hawthorne, 96 at Santa Anita, 100 at Remington, and then 144 at Emerald Downs. Oh, and then 100 more at Hawthorne. Not my proudest moment. I'm clearly all over the place. Not the way you want to be betting. I was up almost 500, haven't cashed a ticket since. I'm now down $1,332 today. We're down, but we're not out. The 6th race rolls around at Emerald Downs, and I like the look of the 1. She's 4-1, the top pick at AI Horse Picks, so I decide to make some exacta tickets centered around her. Seeing as how it's been a day of losing tickets, I tell myself that she'll probably get bad beat by some long shot, so I put 3 prices in front of the 1 on my first ticket and the 1 up front on another exacta ticket. So we're off, and she has a nice positional advantage with all that space along the rail. She's able to tuck in and go out for a small early lead. When you get an early lead like this, I usually do worry that the horse may tire out. The first quarter mile goes by in 21.45. Pretty hot pace for a race like this. Half mile clocks in at 44.09. Gave her a slight enough slowdown to maintain her position and win by a few lengths. The 3 ends up in second place, and we cash a $15 exacta. It paid $50.40 for a buck, which means we got back $7.56 even for a total race profit of $6.06. Still chasing a win or two to get back to positive, I take $200 to Golden Gate Field, the Northern California racetrack just 30 minutes from San Francisco. I look at 2 long shots, the 4 and the 6. They were only 10-1 or so on the morning line, but currently look to be way higher odds than that. The race favorite is a heavy chalk at 1-2. I take my long shots to win and put them in some backup exactas in case this favorite does win and we take a tough second place. This race was a full mile on the turf, and our 6 horse, who went off at 40-1, is looking all right. Sitting behind the leader in second, I start to get a sense around the halfway point that I might be cashing a ticket. The favorite, the 3, is behind the 6, and it feels like anyone's game. In reality, though, this race ends up being a workout for the 3, and the 6 fades to 4th, and the 4 horse never fires at all. A long shot did come in second, the 1. I maybe should have been looking at 23-1 shots instead of 40-1 shots, but oh well. $200 loss. We're back to minus 926 on the day. All right, it's time to get serious. I'm betting too many garbage races, not focused. That's a guaranteed losing recipe. I need to find a good pool to wager in with a decent amount of money and try to take a shot. The Golden Hour Pick 4 is starting soon. For those unfamiliar, the Golden Hour Pick 4, it's a cross-track 4-race wager. Starts with the second to last at Santa Anita, then the second to last at Golden Gate, then the last race at Santa Anita, and finally the 4th leg of this wager is the final race at Golden Gate Fields. 2 at Santa Anita, 2 at Golden Gate. Let's make a move. My idea for the Pick 4 ticket was simple. Look for long shots at Santa Anita, expect the favorites at Golden Gate. Specifically, I noted that AI Horse Picks loves the 1 horse in the last at Golden Gate. Just look at that prediction. I double-checked the form to see this horse was heavily bet in his previous races, just came off the geld, and the trainer and jockey had some crazy good win percentages. Didn't surprise me why AI Horse Picks liked him so much. I ended up taking all in the first leg at Santa Anita, and almost every horse in that second race at Santa Anita. Just took a couple favorites off the ticket. In the Golden Gate legs, I take 3 horses in the first leg, and in that second leg at Golden Gate, I'd single the 1, Goodbye Kai. My $1 ticket cost a total of $126. What happened in the next 4 races, I don't think I could have written a more dramatic story. So watch the outside horse here. You'll actually see the 9 takes a bad step, more or less cost themselves the race right at the start. It's a hard misstep to recover from, literally. Great for us, right? Remember, we've got all in this race, so we're looking for any long shot to take this leg. Halfway through, and there's nothing but long shots up front. I'm loving it. 1 random winner at a long price, and our ticket is going to be off to a great start. The 4, Coach Cronin, ends up getting the job done for us at 17-1. The exacta, trifecta, and superfecta actually all paid great in this race. The other favorite, the one that didn't take a terrible misstep, finished a dull 5th. 1 down, 3 to go. On to leg 2 here, it's the 7th race at Golden Gate Fields. Remember, we've got the 1, the 2, and the 3. The 3 and the 5 are co-favorites, so hopefully no 5, and we should get it. Can you say deja vu? Just like at Santa Anita, the favorite here that we didn't want to win, the 5, stumbles. 2 races, 2 lucky missteps. When stuff like that happens, you start to feel like the gambling gods are on your side. After that stumble, my confidence goes through the roof. Sure enough, the 3 wins, who was the second favorite. Of our 3 horses, this was obviously the one I hope didn't win, but he also was 8-1 on the morning line. Who knows how the wagering was played out in the Golden Hour Pick 4 pool. Let's keep it going. 2 down, 2 to go. Back to Santa Anita, where things start to get real interesting. Quick recap. We're alive after 2 legs through a pick 4. We got a 17-1 shot in the first leg, a 2-1 shot in the second leg, and the third leg is coming up, in which we have 6 of the entries in a 13-horse field. Remember, I thought long shots would win the Santa Anita races, and favorites were more likely to come in at Golden Gate. If that holds true for this race here, I think we'll be alive to a real nice score. In that final race, though, at Golden Gate, we only selected one horse, the 1. So I decided to put a small hedge in, and what I end up doing is making a bet in the Golden Hour Daily Double Pool. This is similar to their special cross-track pick 4 sequence, but it's a daily double with just 1 race at Santa Anita and 1 at Golden Gate. It's my opportunity to hedge. Play a long shot here and then take 2 or 3 horses at Golden Gate. That way I could be alive to multiple horses in the final leg. So who do I pick here at Santa Anita in the first leg of the Golden Hour Daily Double? In my pick 4 ticket, I included this 11, Real Fire, and I think about using him, but he's almost 20-1. I decide not to be super greedy, and I make a $50 daily double hedge ticket with the 2 in the first leg and the 3 and 4 in the final leg, the one at Golden Gate. So here we go. We got 2 different bets going, 1 pick 4 ticket with multiple horses and 1 daily double with the 2 singled. The 1 and the 11 are the only long shots we have in our pick 4 ticket. Those other 4 horses actually all end up being co-favorites, around 3-1, 4-1. The 4 goes out for the lead at 25-1. You figure she'll fade. We also see the 6 is in second. Looks like she could take charge and run away with this at any point. The 9 is up there. But then we also notice our 11, Real Fire, comes 4 wide into the final turn. This is huge. We've got Real Fire in the pick 4. She's 19-1. And she's gone. Unbelievable. I was spot on. These 2 Santa Anita races ended up with big prices. This was so good for my pick 4 ticket, but such a heartbreaker for my daily double. Like I mentioned, I was considering using 11 instead of 2 here for the daily double, but I just couldn't pull the trigger and single a 20-1 shot. With a mixed bag of emotions, we go to the last race of the sequence. Before I see my potential payout, I estimate it will pay like 3-4K to the 1. I get a nice surprise when I see that we're alive to a $6,526 score. This is the stuff horse players dream about. A $126 pick 4 ticket, 1 leg left. We just need the favorite to get the job done. I do my best to move past the fact that if we did have the 11 in our daily double, we'd also be rooting home the 3 or 4 for over 10 grand on that other ticket. That stings just a bit. Since I noticed the 4 is being bet a bit more than the 3, I throw down 1 final $50 hedge, a straight 4-1 exacta. I'm at a point in my gambling career where I sometimes ask myself what would crush me the most, and I figure the 4 edging out the 1 in the stretch would do exactly that. This is it, the biggest race of the day, the week, maybe the year. We need a lukewarm 2-1 favorite to finish first. 6,500 on the line. He starts well, tucks in on the inside, and I'm on my feet. At the halfway point, he's sitting in 5th or 6th, just 2 lengths off the lead. And then, in the turn, he hits the gas. Oh my gosh, he goes inside to outside, takes the 3 path, heads for home. Seems like he's got a nice cushion. He might be gone. We did it. Go home. Finish. We get clipped. We get clipped near the wire. He had it. Why? We lose out on $6,500 just like that. At the same time, though, this was my 1 backup hedge ticket. 1 straight $50 4-1 exacta. It pays a respectable $25.35, and I still feel like my heart was ripped out of my chest. Not only did I miss out on an almost 7K payday, but I also missed out on over $11,000 by not using the 11 in my daily double ticket. I'm at a literal loss for words. And that is where this story ends. Before the start of that wild series of events, I was down $9.26 on the day. I wagered a total of $276 across those 4 races, cashed for $25.35. I finished the day with a $13.33 profit. I've never been so sad about a win in my life. If you're still with me, I appreciate you coming along for this ride. Did I deserve it? Was I too crazy with my betting in the first place? Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Let me know what you think. This is Tony Chase, signing off.